Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here to give you my official review for The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 9, titled No Way Out. Now, of course, if you haven't seen this episode, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said, let's get into AMC's The Walking Dead. Now, before I get into my initial review, kind of similar to my Black Sails review, you're probably wondering, why in God's green earth are you reviewing a Walking Dead episode? You're not Evil Scar 23. Fuck off, Johnska12. Well, there's a good reason as to why I have not reviewed Walking Dead lately. Number one, I've kind of lost interest in the show, and the last time I reviewed an episode pretty much was very lackluster in the sense how it was received by my viewership way back when it came out. But at the end of the day, I am a hardcore Walking Dead fan. I really enjoyed the first two seasons. I feel like at that certain point in time, AMC was just on fire. They had like the holy trinity of freaking TV shows. They had Mad Men, Breaking Bad, and The Walking Dead. They were on fire, and I was a part of that shit, and it was awesome. And then Season 3 happened of The Walking Dead, and that was really a testament to my fandom because it really tested me, and I'm pretty sure it tested a lot of us, as to how long we would actually continue watching this show. And for me personally, in retrospect, Season 3 is not that bad. It's like 50-50. Like, the first half I really enjoy, the second half is really But then Season 4 happened. And that was the make or break moment. That was the point where I pretty much watched that season and I lost all hope in humanity. I watched that season and it was god-awful. I know a lot of people disagree with me very heavily on that front, but I can't hide from my true feelings of that freaking season. I don't like it. I know a lot of people do, and I know a lot of people consider that to be the first season where Walking Dead actually started getting good, but in my personal opinion, that's where the show died for me. It was a terrible, god-awful season. I don't want to remember it. It's kind of like Arrow Season 3. It's just like, put it in a box, tie it up, throw it off a bridge, and stop thinking about it from here on out. That's pretty much how I feel about Season 4, and it actually made me stop watching the show for many, I don't want to say many years, but you get the drift, for a long freaking time. But then Season 5 happened, and a lot of people were like, that freaking season was awesome, it was the best thing ever. Hell, even Paul himself kept hassling me on the freaking podcast and in person saying, oh, Season 5's the shit, you should check it out, it freaking shits all over Season 4. And I watched Season 5, and you know what? I freaking enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty freaking enjoyable freaking season. It was awesome, it was epic, it was badass, it was crazy, it was insane, there was death all over the place. It was basically everything I wanted in a Walking Dead season. And for once, Rick, the character, actually became a badass, considering in the past, like, freaking 4 seasons, he was a pussy-ass douchebag who did nothing but get his teammates killed, and majority of his family fucked over. So, you know, that's pretty much my 2 cents on that, but now we get into Season 6, and I initially didn't decide to review it because of various reasons, but then after the mid-season finale, which was kind of lackluster, and in my, if I had to be quite frank, it was kind of a bullshit episode, the best thing that came out of it was the tease of Negan. And if you know Negan, and if you know me, then you know I've been personally waiting for that character to come on this TV show for a very long time. I'm anticipating his arrival. And I decided once he came on, I would review Walking Dead again. And now that they teased him, and now that they already casted him, and he's already prepared to be a part of this show and series and storyline, I am back reviewing The Walking Dead. I'm sorry for wasting practically 4 minutes of your time explaining my history with The Walking Dead, but considering, just like my Black Sails review, I haven't reviewed the show in so long, I just wanted to give you, get viewers up to speed on where I come from and pretty much how I feel. So, with that being said, let's get into the mid-season return of The Walking Dead, titled No Way Out. Now, after the events of the last season, of course, spoilers if you haven't seen the last part of the season, essentially, all hell is broken loose. Alexandria has been practically destroyed. The citizens within Alexandria are pretty much locked indoors because there's a zombie apocalypse outside, ironically enough. And, of course, after the last episode, we were teased with Rick and the other survivors kind of having to go out there into the wild, if you will, and actually have to experience the walkers in, their realities and whatever, and they had to walk through them and what have you. It's pretty much, I want to say, like, the first half of this episode is basically what the title of the show is. It's The Walking Dead. That's pretty much all it is. It's people who are walking with the dead. And that's pretty much the general gist of the first half of this episode. And I really didn't like it. I have to be honest with you. Like, as much as I really shit on Walking Dead sometimes, there are really good episodes. And this season gave us some pretty good ones. This one was 50-50. Like, the first half, I want to say, was god-awful. And I don't understand the kid. Like, in last episode, he was crybaby. And then this episode, he was like, now I'm going to be okay. It's like, what the hell is going on? It's like, you could tell they really didn't have any real connections with this episode and the last episode in the way they were trying to set up things. And it just really it didn't gel well. I think that's the best way I could put it. And everything else kind of just goes to shit. Everyone else is pretty much locked in their own little world. Carol and she's going all crazy, and then there's the 1990s Dave Grohl look-alike who's running around with fucking diseases and what have you, and there's just chaos everywhere. But let's get to the core of why this episode's important and why there's so many interesting setups for future episodes, which is, of course, the second half of this episode, where shit goes down. Of course, at a certain point in time, you have to kill off characters. And for me personally, I really enjoyed the characters that got killed off. Of course, I know there are probably a whole bunch of other Walking Dead fans who are like, no, I can't believe that woman and her children died, her family got killed, I wanted it to be about her Rick's family, why? Chris Hardwick, please tell me why. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of those motherfuckers out there. For me personally, I was cheering and rocking all over the place with those fucking people died. I'm sorry, maybe that makes me sound fucked up, but I'm sorry. Those people needed to die. They were useless characters. They added nothing to the plot. And that fucking kid deserved to get his face eaten off. I'm sorry for saying it that way, but it needed to happen. And I was very happy when it happened. They died. Kudos. And at the same time, it's also a bad thing because, of course, if you have been up to speed with the comic book, and of course, spoilers with the comic book, Carl does get mortally injured in this point of the story, and it essentially happens again in the TV show, pretty much right before the, what's-his-face, Bastard Kid number 2, at least that's what I want to call him. Bastard Kid number 2, of course, threatens Rick and Carl right before he gets himself pretty much shanked by Michonne, right before, because of his family just getting killed, and, he's also a piece of shit human being who's about to die, so he decides to threaten their lives and kill them with the gun that he has, that he, I guess, stole from Carl and what have you, and Carl gets mortally injured in the freaking face, very similar to how he did in the graphic novel / comic books, and for me personally, I'm actually really surprised that they did that. There was a lot of surprising moments in this episode, like what happened to the Saviors in the beginning of the episode, what happened to, the rest of the survivors of Alexandria, but this was the moment that really surprised the crap out of me, because I never thought AMC would have the balls, the cojones, if you will, to really do something like that. I mean, granted, in a setting like The Walking Dead, everyone's gonna die inevitably. I don't care how many crybabies are out there like, no, Daryl can never die. It's the fucking apocalypse. Everyone's gonna die. If you're not a superhero or fucking have some kind of incredible scientific cure to save the human race, everyone's gonna fucking die. It's inevitable. But I never thought they would go that far as to fuck up Carl's face the way they did in this episode. I mean, it was graphic. Granted, it wasn't as graphic as in the comic books. I mean, like, in the comic books, basically almost his whole face freaking comes off. But in the TV show, I think they did a pretty decent job. I don't know how they're going to go from here on out on the way they produce the Carl character, if that makes any sense. In the sense of, like, now that they have to prosthetically remove his eye with CGI and with prosthetics, like, it's going to be very interesting how many times they have to do that. Granted, maybe from here on out, they're going to give him, like, some kind of eye patch or what have you, or some kind of bandage to cover his face majority of this season going on to season 7. But at the end of the day, I just feel like kudos to AMC for having the balls to do that, and hopefully they continue doing more comic book accurate stuff like that going forward to the show. Because I know, a lot of people can sit around and be like, it's okay that the TV show takes its liberties. In a world where we are celebrating creators for being so comic book accurate to its source material. I feel like it's appropriate for AMC to start doing stuff like that. I'm just saying, there was a moment in this season where Glenn died, but then he didn't. He dies. It's inevitable. He will die. Spoilers, he will die. And it's very graphic, and it's very fucked up the way he does. And I'm just going to say this now. If that does not happen the same way it does in the TV show, I will rant, and I will be angry, and I will destroy something. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it has to happen the way it does. It just has to. I know they're probably going to cop out. They're going to be like, no, Glenn's our baby. We're not going to fuck that up. But I just hope they do. And I hope they continue this trend the same way they treated Carl, but you just never know. But at the end of the day, he will survive. He's not going to die. I'm pretty sure they're going to try and, drag this out a little bit longer. But things are really speeding up quick with the Walking Dead storyline. I really felt like they were going to drag this season a little bit longer in terms of like how they're going to introduce, so many other characters. I know they have Jesus to do, and they have the Hilltop colonies to do right before they get into Negan territory, which I'm pretty sure they will be pretty much showing him off by the end of the season, because of course they already casted Jeffrey Dean Morgan on the show, which is really awesome. I can't wait to see him. But I just really wonder how we're going to get there. That's the big thing. Now that we know it's going to happen, and now we got spoilered to the Saviors and to Negan and their existence in the new world that Rick really wants Carl to see, it's really going to be interesting how we go forward and how we get to the point where I really want to see shit go down, because there will be a war, and if it's anything like the comic books, I'm going to be happy. That's all I'm going to say. But at the end of the day, this was a pretty decent episode. I feel like the first half was very lackluster. I feel, no offense, but Greg Nicotero, I fucking love you, dude, but sometimes you just need to take a step back and stop directing AMC episodes. I'm sorry. Like, I know that sounds very rude. I'm very rude today. I don't know why. I guess it's because The Walking Dead is I have like a love-hate relationship with it, but at the end of the day, it's just an okay episode. The first half is alright. It's kind of lackluster. The second half is way better. It's a lot more, it's a lot more raunchy, a lot more crazy, a little bit more brutal. And plus, I wasn't really big on the montages when when the Alexandria citizens were like taking their town back. I feel like it was great the way they showed it off, but I didn't really like the fact that they had montages of them actually killing instead of just pulling back. I feel like if they just pulled back and just showed it, it would have had more of an impact than just having like some kind of stupid music video styled panning of like, this character's killing, this character's killing, this character's killing. Look how angry Rick is. He's angry, I feel like there was a better way to show that and have a bigger impact. That's just my personal opinion. Let me know what yours are. But at the end of the day, my final verdict for this episode is a solid 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed this episode. It was okay. It wasn't the best episode of the season so far, but I can't wait to see where we go from here, and I can't wait to see Negan. And the second he's on screen, I will be reviewing that shit. And of course, I hope you guys enjoyed this Walking Dead review, because I'd like to do more, considering that we're getting closer to content that I really want to see out of this show. I definitely want to continue reviewing it. So let me know what you personally think about that as well. Comment below. Let me know what you think about the mid-season return of AMC's The Walking Dead, and your personal speculations and anticipation for future episodes and how this season's going to wrap up, and of course the appearance of Negan. But with that being said and done, comment below. Shameless plug time. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Josh12. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I hope you guys enjoyed. And this has been Josh12.